We move on to our second topic now about Steve Jobs. Here's the question.
Why doesn't China have its own Steve Jobs?
This is a question posted by Chinese netizen Chu Lin on caixin.cn, and he offered his opinion on what the answer was. He mentions a quote by Li Kai-fu, a Chinese tech whiz who held management positions at Google and Microsoft, who said on his Weibo that China put too much emphasis on rote memorization and not critical thinking. Chu Lin goes on to mention herd behavior, conservativeness, plagiarism, and no incentive to innovate as other aspects of the competitive environment in China that discourage a Jobs-like figure to emerge. Well, with 1.3 billion Chinese and no Chinese tech innovators who are household names across the globe, it seems like Chu Lin is right for now. Let's see what other American posters thought.
There are probably hundreds of Chinese Steve Jobs. Because the concept of learning is eclipsed by being educated, most of the time a guy with Steve Jobs' characteristics would be seen as houseless, jobless, apartmentless vagrant with impractical or extreme ideas. Does the man make the environment, or does the environment make the man? Steve Jobs grew up off the beaten track even for American and Californian standards. Dropped out of university, went to India to spend time with the Maharaja, a vegetarian, very unconventional, and breaking most rules around. A free spirit, way ahead of most. Try to imagine that in China, and you have your answer.
And finally, we have our Chinese web guest Jiang He for some closing insight.
China doesn't have its own Steve Jobs by now, but it doesn't mean that we can't have one in the future. Our country hasn't developed modern business for a very long time. We can take our time to nurture entrepreneurship and creativity. I believe in our generation, we will surely have a great business leader like Steve.